experienced any racism growing up in Salford?
Yeah, well, it was my primary school actually, and I was only young, so I didn't really, understand. People have got different colours, still from different backgrounds, different colour skin. I didn't really understand. I was only young, but I was at school and I was getting called all kinds of names off the school kids, and it went on for quite a while, and then eventually I couldn't handle it anymore because I felt like I was different. I felt made to be like I was different to all the rest of them, because there was not many black lads in the school that I went to. So then I'd be at home and I'd be telling my mum loads of different excuses and reasons why I couldn't go to school. I was ill, I was not feeling well, and other things. And it went on for a while. And my mum obviously realised there was something more to it than just being ill. And then obviously eventually I told her, and she went into school and spoke to the teachers, and it all got sorted out. And even the kids' parents, they went up to my mum and said they're sorry, and they'll make sure that it gets stopped.
So you've obviously got personal experience of how it can affect you as a person, which is one of the aims of this film, is to obviously combat it in terms of kids' attitudes who are doing it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that works really well with bullies is trying to explain to them, racists that do have an effect, because they tend to think of it as just a laugh, but it's not, is it?
No, well, it definitely isn't a laugh, because we're all human beings, we're all the same, we're all equal, and they think the people the bullies that do say these racist chants and things like that, I don't think they realise the effect that it has on the individual. And as from it happening to myself, it does really affect you, and it does make you feel like you're alone, and like you're different, and you're just you're the single one out. So I think people do need to realise that it isn't a laugh, and it is a serious thing, and even if to them even it's just a bit of name calling, but that really hurts people.
Going back to the example you gave, bloody echo in this room. I've looked in Boxwoods, you got the shower room. Can't afford all this in Newcastle. I'll speak too loud as well, so you're speaking in very loud.
No, you carry on, Dad. Well.
Right. And if you go back to that situation where how did it change for you? Because obviously your mum dealt with the situation. How did you feel with it? Because you must have been quite worried originally, because often kids think, I don't want my mum to report it,
Yeah, I really didn't want to tell her. I just didn't want to go to school. That was it. I just wanted to be away from that situation. I wanted to be away from school. I didn't want to be around the kids. And yeah, like I said, you don't want your mum going in, even doesn't matter how old you are, you don't want your mum going into school, maybe kicking off, maybe if that's the right word, to telling the teachers, and you do sort of feel like you're a grass, even though it's hurting you. But as I said, it was strange, because she did go into school, and she was obviously wasn't happy, and she let the teachers and the parents know she wasn't happy, and then it was quite strange, because maybe when I went back to school, the kids then suddenly must have realised through the parents that it was wrong, and and then they started being friendly, and then that was obviously a bit shock. One minute getting called all these names, the next minute being a friend, and like I said, so it was definitely obviously did the right thing by telling my mum and me, and her then reacting and going in on my behalf. Yeah.
Did it ever happen because that was at primary school, did it ever happen again in schools, or in the school?
No, but there's my friend recently, if I can talk about it, I don't think he'll mind. He's like one of my good friends. He's from Newcastle, and he's got it's his little cousin, and he's obviously, I think he's maybe 7 or 8 now, and he's gone in, obviously he's got a girlfriend. He's obviously a black lad. He's going out with a white girl, and just what it's like when you're young, you just pretend you're boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever it is. But obviously, so he told me the other week that his cousin came home. He was called Tyrese. Came home from school, and he was upset, and then he was like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And he said, "Oh, my girlfriend said, his girlfriend said to him, 'Oh, I can't be with you anymore because of the colour of your skin.'" And obviously my situation was maybe 15 years ago, and to still hear about that now. I think I thought obviously things are getting better, but still to hear that was it was disappointing, and And as I said, and he's just a young lad, you know, he's only 7 or 8, and he doesn't understand, you know, why his girlfriend would say that to him, and you know, and I don't know where that's come from, but obviously then they went into the school to sort that out as well, and as I said, yeah, it's just wrong, and you know, it needs to be stopped.
And a lot of people think it's ended in football. Our campaign's always been about, you know, the problems in society, and we know that racist groups like the English Defence League are on the rise. The BNP, you know, still get big votes in elections. So are the National Fronts. Yeah. So the problem hasn't gone away, has it? It's still in society.
Yeah, it's still sort of lingering around. As I said, it is still a little bit. I think it was worse, obviously, back in the day in football, but it is still a little bit there now. Obviously, with examples like with Samuel Eto'o and in other cases, and as I said, yeah. But from a football experience, maybe 6 years ago, when I think I was on a pre-season tour with on the youth team with Man United. I think it was either Austria or Switzerland. I'm not too sure now. And when you're playing out there in a tournament, I think it's like only a 3-day tournament. The games are short and sharp, and and we were doing well. And obviously, it was Man United, and everyone wanted to beat Man United. And there was a certain group of fans in the corner that was being racist and sort of doing the monkey chants and stuff like that. And and then the event, the tournament nearly got cancelled, as I said, because it was just wrong. And the people who organised it, was obviously that shocked and disappointed with their own people that they nearly did cancel the tournament. And the people who did it, they got kicked out of from watching the rest of the tournament. And the tournament went ahead, and yeah, so that was one experience from a football point where it was still in football.
Right, but there was action taken, was there? In that
yeah, that's it. Like
so all the examples you've given, there's been action taken.
Yeah, the problem.
Personal example. The example of that young lad who's 8 at Newcastle, and then the footballing example.
Yeah, the problem, as long as people speak up for you and the people around, speak up, and the problem does get solved, and like I said, the football one there, that tournament, it was that bad that the people who organised, even though they wanted it to go ahead because it's it was a benefit for them to go ahead and to have a final and and a winner of the tournament, they were that disappointed that they was going to cancel it. So, and obviously by then nearly cancelling it, then obviously everyone raised eyebrows, and everyone then stopped and listened and realised that it was wrong. And the people that who were involved in it, they got kicked out from watching the rest of it. And I'm not too sure what happened to them after that, but they wasn't in the stadium anymore, and the tournament went ahead.
One of the things we're doing now with our campaign is we're looking at other forms of bullying as well. So we've been given some funding by the Northern Rock Foundation to film on homophobia and kids who are getting bullied. Okay. And often the kids are getting called gay at school and gay this and gay that. Would you like to make a statement in terms of against bullies and against the idea that people can be picked on, for whatever reason? It might be that people are getting picked on because maybe they're not even gay. They could be camp.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yeah.
Would you like to make a statement on that?
No, I just think people, whether it's from the parents or the people around your friends, your family, they need to, whoever's doing it, they need to realise it just because it's not physical abuse, but it's mental abuse, and that's probably worse in some cases, because it's not nice, and it does hurt the people that are involved, and I think they really do need to to stop it and realise that they need to really stop it, and I don't think they'd like it to be happen to themselves. And as I said, the people that are being bullies, the people who obviously with their bullying, it's obviously it hurts, it affects them. And anything can happen. You don't want to say, they might go and do this, might go and do that, but in some cases people might feel in such a low place that and feel alone that they might do something terrible, and we don't want that. And if we can stamp it out as soon as we can, then when the bullies need to learn that it's wrong.
Final question, because I know you've got to get a train. What do you think makes a bully? Why does some kid we know? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. I might be wrong. Obviously, it might be different opinions, but from my opinion, I think the people that are bullies, I think they're scared, and it makes them feel a little bit powerful, if that's probably the right word. It makes them feel a bit strong, and really they are probably a bit weak themselves, and they are a bit scared themselves. So that's my opinion. I think why people are bullies, or maybe they've been bullied in the past that you don't know about, you know, from certain someone, and now they feel it's right to do it because it happened to them. So that's my 2 opinions on why I think that's why people are bullies, yeah.
Great.
Okay, just a red card.
Yeah.
Quick.
Show racism, the red card.
Excellent, thank you, that's great.